So greetings everybody, Mr. Minister Fleming, Cathaoirleach, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'd first like to extend a very warm welcome to you all here today on this special occasion as we've reached substantial completion on the new Greenfield facility. In addition of having the pleasure of emceeing today's event, I also must remind you of some general housekeeping rules. Video on the go, we have a time-lapse video of the construction programme since last August to date. So first I'll ask up to speak tonight is Aaron Cahorlock from Laois County Council, Catherine Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Ken. And I suppose first I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate my friend and colleague, Sean Fleming, on his appointment as Minister. We're all delighted and welcome Sean here today. I'd also like to welcome our Chief Executive, Ms. Caroline Donnelly, Trade Commissioner from the Embassy of Canada, Chris, President of the Irish Canadian Business Association, Bernie from Laois Chamber, and Mr. Ken Finnegan, General Manager, Greenfield Global, and all his team. It gives me great pleasure as Cathaoirleach of Laois County Council to welcome everybody here this afternoon to Portlaoise for the official opening of Greenfield Global's European manufacturing headquarters, which marks a significant development of great benefit to Portlaoise and the Midlands region, and which I understand will create 75 roles over the next 5 years. I am indeed delighted that Greenfield Global chose Laois as their first foray into manufacturing outside of North America. It reflects the enterprise potential of the county. Portlaoise, due to its centrality, is at the heart of an excellent national roads and rail network, ensuring rapid access to anywhere in Ireland, and is Ireland's best strategically located county, with excellent telecommunications, energy and water infrastructure, high-speed fibre broadband, and a skilled and talented workforce. I am, of course, biased in favour of Laois, and I am immensely proud of our county and region. Laois has much going for it: cost-effective business solutions, strong talent base, shorter commuting times, and excellent quality of life. This is a thriving environment for global business. We have a strong tourism offering, rich heritage, and some wonderful natural and built amenities. It all combines to create a great work-life balance for those who work and live here, as I'm sure Ken, Managing Director, Greenfield Global Ireland, and your team at Greenfield Global will discover as you settle in here. For today, I wish to extend a warm welcome and wish you well on this official opening of your European manufacturing headquarters. Ken, I've no doubt that the company is in good hands under your leadership. I wish you every success at this facility. Now I look forward to hearing more about your exciting plans for Laois. Thank you.
Thank you, Cahorlock, for those kind words. Next I would ask you of the honour to have our Minister, Sean Fleming. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm delighted to join you for this wonderful occasion here in County Laois. Personally, it's a wonderful occasion for me. It's my first function as a Minister of State in the Department of Finance to preside at a function here in my own constituency in County Laois. I want to thank Catherine Fitzgerald of Laois County Council for her warm words of congratulating me in that post. And I was just thinking as she was saying it, she said we were friends a long time. Both of us were elected as members of Laois County Council together on our first day, and we won't mention what year that was because I'm too much of a gentleman and she's too much of a lady to might pinpoint her ages. But anyway, you can know we're being started on our political career in Laois County Council on the same day as newly elected councillors. So it's a good memory. And it's nice that she's here today as Cathaoirleach on my first occasion as a Minister of State in the region. So I do want to acknowledge Ken for your kind invitation and our discussion before we came in here today. We met some time ago in your previous announcements and it's very much appreciated. And we're also joined by Dennis Curran from the IDA and John Mulholland, the Chief Executive of Laois County Council, who have been very fundamental and important in helping get this operation here today as well. We're joined by Catherine Donnelly, who is the Trade Commissioner from the Canadian Embassy. And I also want to welcome all other guests here as well today, including the Chamber of Commerce especially. I want to congratulate Greenfield Global on your near completion of your first European manufacturing headquarters and to locate it here in Portlaoise. This project is supported by the Irish Government through the IDA and is expected to create 75 high-quality jobs over the next 5 years. You already have a number of people employed, and at this stage, I want to acknowledge the work of Laois Chamber and your jobs fair, because they've already told me it was a great boost to them, and these are things had we not had Laois Chamber, we mightn't have had that opportunity. A lot of people within 20-mile region of here now employed and working into place, and it was great that we had that jobs fair arranged by yourselves. So I want to acknowledge and appreciate that, and I hope that can be an annual event or whatever the occasions are into the future. This investment will be very positive for the Midland region, and the new 75 jobs will offer a diverse range of functions at various education levels. There will be a range of operations: production, quality, supply chain, and the sales function. And I would hope that would be an expanding function, and you will be selling more and more into Europe as the years go by, and then you'll be able to increase your facility and footprint here in Portlaoise. So we wish the sales function every success in their endeavours, selling your products to your customers across Europe and elsewhere, and that can result in this base here growing in the years to come. The construction phase of the project generated about 100 jobs during the course of the construction, and despite the COVID-19 challenges, the project came in very, very close to the original scheduled date, which in itself was a fine achievement. It's lovely to see these drones now over the sites. It's something we never experienced before, and people get a fuller understanding of what's involved in that, and it's good to see the drone and the video presentation here today. As we all know, Greenfield Global has its headquarters in Toronto, Canada, and has a number of operations throughout North America. Its extensive portfolio of products is trusted by hundreds of customers in the pharmaceutical, nutraceutical, life science, personal care, and food, flavour and fragrance range of markets in more than 15 countries. And what's good here about this industry, it's a new technology here in County Laois. It's a new technology coming to Ireland, and when I read that script today, and I'm being honest, I'm around a while and have a reasonable vocabulary, but when I saw this word nutraceutical, I said, what's that? I said in my office, I'm not going to chance that word in case I don't know what it means, and I stumbled over it. But every day is a learning, and it shows to me, we're breaking new ground in having those type of businesses in here in County Laois, and I do want to acknowledge you're at the cutting edge of technology with the highest pharmaceutical companies right across the globe. So it's very much a locally based production facility and sales facility here, but you'll be selling worldwide to the biggest pharma companies on the planet. So that's very important. The IDA is heavily focused on attracting investment into regional locations, and the jobs being created by Greenfield Global is a tremendous boost for Portlaoise and the wider Midland region. The business environment for foreign direct investment is very competitive between Ireland and other countries, and also here in Ireland itself. And it remains a challenge to convince international investors to consider locations outside of Dublin and the other larger cities. And that's why we really appreciate the achievement. It's an achievement from our point of view as well that you have chosen here, and I know it will work to everybody's benefit. The IDA's relentless focus on seeking out new potential investment and partnering closely with companies has resulted in many investments in the Midland region in recent years. But Laois, we were very pleased that we're now getting our foot on the mark in that regard as well. Making the area inviting as possible and a nice place to live and work is also important, and the workforce who come to work here will be your ambassadors locally, and hopefully to your parent company in Canada that it's the place to stay the long term and expand as time goes on. It's also important for all key stakeholders in the region to work together to make the place an attractive and profitable business for yourself. I mentioned the dirty word. If you don't make profit, you won't be here. So we want you to be profitable. We want you to pay good wages and salaries to employees, and I put on the public record as well. And I broached the sensitive question about payroll rates and salary rates, because I'm conscious in my previous role that not only do multinationals make big contribution to corporation tax in Ireland, but the payroll taxes by the multinational company is very significant in the Irish Exchequer term, because generally payroll levels in the multinational companies are at a higher level than the average industrial wage throughout the rest of the economy. So we like to see quality and well-paying jobs coming into the region. Some of the reasons why Portlaoise was selected was, as the Cathaoirleach has already said, the central location, our excellent motor access to Cork, Limerick and Dublin, where some of your customers are based, access to Dublin Port for bringing in your raw materials and for exporting the finished goods to Europe and elsewhere. The availability of a suitable and cost-effective land on the IDA site here on the Mountrad Road here in Portlaoise. Very important that we had that base. We have a well-educated and skilled workforce in the county, and especially the proactive role and supportive role of Laois County Council. And John Mulholland, the Chief Executive, I think it's about 2 years ago, we actually met here in Portlaoise with Mark Shanahan, Chief Executive of IDA, and Julie Cinnamon from Enterprise Ireland. And those kind of meetings, they don't happen very often, but they're very important when they do come to happen. And you can tell them we're delighted with the follow through and that you're here today. And also the support from the IDA, without whom they brought you to the town in the first place. So we're grateful that we were on the list of sites to visit. You did tell me you visited, I think, 32 sites. Wow, that was a lot of work. This was the second site you visited, and you did see a lot more, but we're very pleased you came back here as well. So continuing to invest in infrastructure, education and maintaining the competitiveness of the Irish economy remains essential in attracting foreign direct investment. And I won't get into the job stimulus announcement, but we really, as a government, and I think it's the EU approach, we do want to make sure we don't fall into a deep recession as a result of COVID, and we fight our way back very quickly. We know this is a difficult year financially. Next year will be a year of recovery, and in time, let's hope we're back as strong as ever we were in the past. So on behalf of the Irish government, I want to assure you, Ken and your team, you have our full support to expand your global business from here. You've made the right decision coming to Ireland, but especially to the Midland region, and especially here to Portlaoise as well. And finally, and I think is well known, County Laois is the fastest growing county in population terms in Ireland, outside maybe certain parts of Dublin. And from that point of view, we look forward to future foreign direct investment in this area, and we wish you every success in the many, many years to come here in Portlaoise. Thank you indeed.
Thank you very much, Minister, for those kind words. So obviously with our headquarters being in Canada, we have very close links with the Irish Canadian Business Association and the Canadian Embassy, and so we're delighted here today to invite Caroline Donnelly, Trade Commissioner for the Canadian Embassy. Caroline.
Hi. Just want to say thank you to Ken for the invitation to be here today. I'm delighted to be here to represent the Embassy of Canada. As you know, Canada and Ireland share many similarities, and trade and investment is one of them. Both our economies are driven by exports, trade and international business. So to be here for the opening of Greenfield Global today to mark this occasion is really excellent, and it's an excellent success story for both Canada and Ireland. As you know, the Embassy of Canada, we're very committed to continuing to work with companies like Greenfield Global and supporting international business and trade between both our countries. We continue to do that through working with our partners like the ICBA and Chris Collinett, who's here, IDA Ireland, the Irish government and our industry partners. So on that note, I just wanted to be very brief, and thank you again, Ken, for the invitation to be here today. That was an excellent video. Seeing the building come together like that over time has been, it's a fantastic achievement, and I want to wish you the best of success to your colleagues as well as you grow your business here in Ireland and throughout Europe. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. So next up we have the IDA, Dennis Curran, please. Dennis.
Thanks, Ken. Good afternoon, everybody. Minister Fleming, Cahirlock, Caroline and Ken, thank you very much for the warm welcome here today. And I'm sure I speak for everybody in the room in that it's such a fantastic milestone to be here today. And that's one of the great things about, rewarding things about working in IDA, that when you get to meet fantastic companies like Greenfield Global, and they come to places like Portlaoise, and they do all their due diligence, and you look at a Greenfield, and then you look at that 9-minute video and about the vision and ambition and imagination that they can bring to regional Ireland. And as the Minister says, make an investment that is going to host and deliver some of the most complex and sophisticated products that are going to be distributed to the world's leading pharmaceutical companies, all from Portlaoise here. It really is inspiring to be part of that process, and well done, Ken, and everybody involved in achieving this unique and significant milestone. As the Minister said, there's a strong priority for IDA in marketing and promoting regional locations to international FDI companies. So when we were here April last year in the hotel here in Portlaoise, we talked a lot about, and Howard did, the CEO of Greenfield Global, about the vision he had for the facility here in Portlaoise. So it really is great to see the bricks and mortar, the living output of what Howard talked about 12 months ago. This is, I think it's close to a $30 million investment, and at full capacity it's going to create 75 high-paid, high-skilled, high-quality jobs. And these new jobs in this particular investment will be added to the existing 43 companies, FDI companies in the region, that combined employ over 6,000 people in the Midlands region. And it's also important to remember the multiplier effect that this particular investment has in the local community and local region. I think the Minister mentioned that there's about 100 people involved in the construction of this facility, and a lot of the vendors and services that are going to be servicing this particular site going forward are all local companies and indigenous companies that are located around this particular region. So it's fantastic to see that as well. And I know from talking to Ken that there will be further procurement opportunities for local industry here as well. As Caroline mentioned, this investment is also a significant milestone, not just for this particular region, but also for the company as well. Greenfield Global is a fantastic, professionally run family company, and this is their first ever investment in Europe. And so we're delighted, for Howard and the board of Greenfield Global with this significant milestone in their corporate journey. And we're also delighted that Ireland and the Midlands region and Laois, against very stiff and intense competition, was able to come out ahead of that competition and was chosen as the site for this particular investment. And that's just a reminder to us all that all FDI investments have to be won against a backdrop of very strong competition. And it's very important that all regional locations have a placemaking strategy, have an infrastructure strategy, to the Cathaoirleach's point, that can sell to international companies, that they have the infrastructure, the property solutions, the talent, the skills solutions, educational infrastructure available to meet not just the current needs of our clients today, but hopefully these clients, and 30% of our portfolio have been in Ireland for 30 years or more, as their mandate changes, as products develop, new products come to the market, that we're able to meet the future needs of the company, not just the current needs of the company. And I've no doubt this particular region will be able to meet those needs and more. So in arriving at that particular milestone, Ken, you might pass on our deep gratitude and thanks to Ken, or to Howard and to Frank Field and the board in coming to this particular decision. And as the Minister said, I'm no doubt that this location will be proof positive that they made the correct decision. Caroline mentioned that Greenfield Global is a Canadian company, and IDA is always looking at new opportunities and new markets. And we heretofore had a back up until the Q1 of last year serviced the Canadian market from our offices in the United States. And I'm pleased to say, as of last year, we opened our first office in Toronto, and we hope to increase our presence in Canada, because we see lots of long-term opportunities for two-way trade and more FDI coming from the Canadian marketplace. And to date, there's over 100 Canadian companies in Ireland on the FDI portfolio. We've around 50 companies, and combined they employ around 6,000 people. And we look forward to working with Chris and everybody at the Irish Canadian Business Association to build on that success and move it forward in the coming years. In closing, I would just like to focus on maybe some of the team in the background that worked with Ken and Howard through the last 2 years, through the decision-making process, and then through the construction process. And in particular, I would like to thank John and everybody at Laois County Council for all their help and support, for the local Chamber of Commerce, for all the support that IDA gets locally from a wide variety of stakeholders. I'd also like to thank the local regional team here, and Breed Somers is here. Unfortunately, Ken Whitelaw can't be here today. And also another colleague that, I don't know if he visited all 32 sites, but Enda Meehan, one of the colleagues on my team who visited every single site with Howard and Frank at the particular time, and Henda's on a staycation this week, so he can't join us, but I do want to note the hard work and effort that they put in partnering with Howard and Frank at the particular time. And finally, I just want to congratulate Ken and all 18 staff who've achieved this significant milestone. I wish you all the best in the commissioning phase, and hopefully you know, it's been a challenging time for society and for enterprise for the last 3 or 4 months, so it's fantastic that we're able to have this wonderful good news here today, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity in the future to welcome Howard and members of the Greenfield Global Board to Laois, and we'll have another opportunity to celebrate this wonderful success. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis, and all the speakers for the kind words and remarks today. It was really nice now. I suppose from day one, we've enjoyed the support of all our colleagues in Canada and the United States. And look, it is a great shame that they're not here with us today, maybe through the internet and life size, 1 or 2 maybe joining in. But look, obviously with present circumstances, have us all staying closer to home at this time. So hopefully, as time goes on, they can make it over in due course. Our President and CEO, Howard Field, sends his very best wishes. I know he's looking forward to coming back to Ireland and see the site and the progress here as soon as possible. You know, as you all know, construction projects do throw curveballs along the way. We thought our one and only curveball was NZEB, near zero energy buildings. And you know, thanks to, I suppose, some clever redesign from DPS, we managed our way through that and made, you know, significant investments to be compliant. And we're now proud to say today that we will have one of the first NZEB compliant buildings in the country later this year. Of course, that wasn't the only challenge we would face, you know, and obviously with the emergence of the global pandemic, that coincided with the, I suppose, unprecedented demand of Greenfield Global specialty chemical and ingredients products. You know, especially, I suppose, critical needed hand sanitizers, disinfectants. I suppose all our Farmco branded materials were in such global demand everywhere. So, you know, all our facilities had to work 24/7 to meet that demand. It was all shoulders to the wheel, both in Canada and the United States, to keep those facilities running, and obviously being mindful of, you know, all keeping our employees safe. But it was just so important that we were, you know, providing materials in the fight against COVID, and to get those materials to the front line as soon as possible. I suppose likewise, the products we produce here are deemed essential. So our ethanol and our IPA, our disinfectant agents. So, you know, we were allowed to continue on the construction program throughout the shutdown. Again, I want to give a big shout out to DPS and their team, and Seafield and their EHS team for not only, I suppose, designing those safety protocols and implementing same, and, you know, having buy-in from every single contractor. There's a point to note, there's over 170 contractors working here during that phase. So, you know, it's no mean achievement to, you know, keep the site running and to get products to the front line as soon as possible. So thank you guys. You know, and I suppose that resulted in 0 positive cases on site, which again is no mean achievement. I know DPS liaised closely with the Construction Federation of Ireland in designing those protocols, and as a result of that, the Construction Federation of Ireland used our site here in Ireland as a reference site to roll out the construction industry, when things opened up again there. Many communities, of course, have and continue to face steep challenges during COVID-19. Through Greenfield's board, the founder and chairman, Ken Field, Greenfield donated 400,000 Canadian dollars to help local communities facing the pandemic-related hardships. Donations were made through the company's newly established Greenfield Cares Fund and directed to local charities and communities where Greenfield Global employees live and work. Greenfield Cares was very proud to support 4 local charities here in Ireland, very dear to us: Jack and Jill, Laois Hospice, Laois Domestic Abuse, and Pieta House. I'm still amazed at everything this team has accomplished, especially in these unparalleled times. We are now fully staffed to commence our commissioning and validation program, so that's an important next step for us. And that's, in no short thanks to Bernie and her team and Martin from the Chamber for hosting that hugely successful jobs fair back in February in normal times. I don't think we'd get away with that jobs fair in today's times. But yet, look, it was a huge success. I think it took everybody by surprise, the attendance there. We brought Portlaoise to a halt for the day. But I suppose really the result of that was, we filled 70% of open positions from the jobs fair. So it was, it was a great support to us here. And it just helped us meet all our deadlines. So thank you, Bernie and Martin. I suppose, look, it's great speaking to you from the heart of the building here today. We've built a world-class GMP solutions facility to sell our Farmco branded materials. As you can see here, from each of the product dedicated venues we have on our left-hand side. So our first venue here is phosphoric acid. The next venue up is for sodium hydroxide, and the next venue up is dextrose. So all of these solutions will be blended with USP purified water and Wi-Fi water for injection, to our customers' specifications, so they're custom blends. So, it's going to be a great resource for the 10 of the top 10 biotech companies in the world who require these buffer solutions to have this resource on the island. It's going to be a huge resource for them. And then as we look to our top right here, we have our flammables production area 2, where we'll be blending our ethanol and IPA blends. So we'll be taking ethanol from our storage tanks out in our tank farm, bringing it into our batching tanks, and again, blending with either USP water or Wi-Fi water. All then finished product will be packaged in our Class 8 clean room, just through this panel here on the right-hand side. And so then we can provide packaging from pails, drums, IBCs, or if customers need in bulk isotainers, we can divert out to our tank farm and loading bay outside. And then all finished product will be warehoused and stored in our temperature controlled, temperature monitored warehouse behind us here. And it's all fully racked out. I suppose today, more than ever, reliable supply chains are key to economic and environmental and human health. I'm delighted to say that Greenfield Global Ireland will now be able to provide the certainty to our life science customers' specific needs and their growing demand. I suppose the life science and biotech industry is still in its infancy and is showing rapid growth now over the next few years. And as we all know, there's a race to produce the vaccine that's going to make all our lives safe again. So we hope to be a huge resource and a partner to our biotech customers in meeting that need. Finally, I would like to thank the IDA and Laois County Council. We've had a great relationship with Laois County Council and worked closely with John and his team in that successful funding to make Portlaoise a centre of excellence and the formation of the Cube, an innovative training centre for low carbon initiatives. And we hope that's going to become a great resource for some of our other business units in introducing new R&D projects that we have from Canada and possibly building those up to pilot or commercial scale at a later point. So there's lots of potential for us to grow within that sphere. The IDA, putting on my green jersey, Irish ink, to see in the background the work that the IDA do in facilitating FDIs coming into Ireland is just remarkable. It's a very slick operation, and the help they gave us and our team in making those introductions in industry, in helping, from everything from legal, our project banking finances from AIB, who are also here present today. But every step of business, IDA assisted in making those introductions and just make that so easy for, overseas companies who are making that leap of faith, and you just make that so easy. So it's, very proud as an Irish person to see that organisation and the service that they provide to keep that growth. So thank you, Dennis and team. So Greenfield Global, certainly, Ireland feels part of the business community here. We've been involved, and so, we're looking forward to, I suppose, building that. And this is a perfect platform for us to grow. One of the reasons we picked Portlaoise is, it gives us that scalability that we can, we have ambitious plans, and we can grow and meet that global demand here into the future. So I think that's really all. Just so delighted to see you all here today. It's a huge milestone for us, and delighted for our team. It's amazing the work our team did over the last coming days and the last 24 hours. So thank you guys, and looking forward to the next months ahead as we start producing product here in the coming weeks. So thank you everybody. Slán agus Ganairi and Boherlaps.